and have no intention in exploring opportunities within the firm. As discussed previously, I do not think messaging and calling me on the weekends is appropriate. Totally fair enough. Hi, Catherine. I'm happy to offer you the promotion to senior account manager and pay rise to the requested £50,000. I always intended on giving you this rise. I just wanted to see your progression. Please let me know if you are happy to accept. Sue. Hi, Sue. No, I would not like to accept. And my resignation officially went in on the 5th. WhatsApp call. WhatsApp call, WhatsApp call. Catherine, pick up the phone. I need to talk about why you're throwing away your career. I'm offering you everything you've asked for. Sue. Hi, Sue. I do not want to talk to you on WhatsApp about this. I absolutely love that. I'm happy for you to send a Zoom link. I do not want to accept the offer. I do not think I'm throwing away my career. Thank you for your concern, though. Catherine, this is a terrible decision for your career and it's going to reflect very badly on you. And literally, this boss is awful. Like, the phone calls, the harassment, and then like guilt tripping, your career is going to be ruined. Like, I hate that. Catherine actually then sends us the message that she sent to her company HR about Sue. Dear Emily, I want to attach screenshots of Sue, quite frankly, harassing me this weekend and today. I was going to keep this to myself. However, the treatment over this weekend has been awful. Working for Sue has caused me a huge amount of distress. Sue invades your personal life like no one I've ever met. She will call you at all hours continuously. She will almost exclusively message you out of hours. You can see from the attached email chain called Messages About Promotion that the role was promised to me no less than 6 times over 18 months. Eventually I gave up and started looking for roles. I thankfully found a role for over what Sue offered me and received 5 offers out of 5 job interviews. The most painful thing of all, the day I quit, she offered me the pay rise and promotion she's been floating in front of me for 18 months. Truly terrible. I will work my notice as required, but I want you to know just how Sue operates. Catherine. I'm actually so glad that she sent that email. I'm also so proud of Catherine for dealing with the situation the way that she did. Like, she wasn't even rude back to Sue. She resigned on the Friday. She was cordial on the weekend while she was being harassed. And on the Monday morning, she managed the situation with Sue incredibly well and then just told HR exactly as it is. The reason I like that she did that is that, 1, she's getting out from an awful situation that was painful for her. But 2, that will have an impact now on other people who are being managed by Sue.
I want to hang clothes on the wall, but I don't like how far out it comes from the wall. So I just made this prototype.
I actually love this. Like, she's seen this small problem, which is that a hanger doesn't work against a flat wall, and she's created a unique and incredibly useful product here. This is like a perfect example of the fact that you don't need to always be in tech. You don't need complex and super complicated businesses. This is a simple idea that solves a simple problem that is applicable to thousands of people. On top of that, it's an amazing example of putting together a minimal viable product, an MVP, building that out, and then going to raise money and using video and TikTok and social to create viral videos to actually promote your product. So Simone registered her business on Kickstarter, which is a platform where people will pledge to your business and they'll get your product in return. And she raised $450,000. She hasn't given away any equity. She's got $450,000 worth of, cash into the business, has sold product. So consumers now have her product in their hands. They can give her feedback, but she's also formed like an early community that's going to back her and the product for time to come. She's really nailing YouTube and TikTok. She's creating videos about how difficult it's been to start the business, about the challenges, the prototypes, the whole process. And so the audience is always buying into her. I need you to work next week. Hey, I'm sorry. I have next week booked off with my family. I booked it off over a month ago with you. Yeah, but I have to cancel that because we need you. Sorry. I'll be there in the afternoons. Oh, that's nice of him. Hi, I'm sorry, but I'm not available and I cannot work as I'm off to a family wedding. Pretty fair enough. God, how many weddings do you have? Which day is the actual wedding? Because a wedding is just one day and I need support. I mean, this guy clearly just is awful. It's a few days and I'll literally be miles away. So it's just nearly impossible to go there and back on that time scale. Look, work is work and I have to approve your holidays. I'm sorry, John, but if you try and force me in, I'll have to refuse and resign. Actually, I've had enough. Please take this as my notice. Good on you. Fair enough. If you're in a situation where you have had your holiday approved, it's for something important. But even if it wasn't for something important, that's actually not the point. If you've had the holiday approved, your manager's approved it, they're aware of it, you've given enough time, you've done all the processes correct, and then they, at the last minute, try and force you in with this sort of like passive aggressive guilt trip style stuff. Like, God, how many weddings do you have? Like, fuck off. Like, I have a lot of friends getting married at the moment. Like, so I would say in this regard, like, I I actually agree with the person. I agree with them giving in their notice, because if someone's going to act like this towards you now, they're always going to act like that towards you. And if you allow them to get away with treating you like that, they will just treat you like that or worse. My boss told me I was fired as soon as I got to work. He laughed and walked off. I spent the next 2 hours crying and shutting down my station and packing my stuff. I emailed my client list. Mine was the largest in the branch. When I got home about 3 hours later, he called me. Hey, where are you? I can't find you anywhere. You fired me. Why the hell would I be at work? It was a joke. Get back here. You clearly said I'm fired. I'll be taking unemployment for a few months and filing a complaint with HR. I mean, that is fair enough. He went mental, so I hung up on him. It's not bloody funny. He called me 10 times and I think HR is calling me now. Skip ahead a few months. After a few meetings with HR, my boss's position is being terminated. He had a history of problems, it turns out. Someone in my team is being promoted. I was offered a pay rise, a new manager, and new responsibility. It's funny how a company becomes less toxic by getting rid of bad eggs. Wow. That's quite a story. Feels like a scene out of The Office where, like, you know, David Brent's character tells Dawn that she's fired and it's a April Fool's joke. But obviously I think, like, I don't even know if the manager was joking at the beginning, because it certainly doesn't sound like it came across as that. But I suppose the point is, like, you don't make a joke about that. You don't make a joke of firing someone, because for someone, their job is so important. Their salary is so important, the livelihood of their family, etc. But also, like, what I think they end on is actually quite a good point. Like, I think that the biggest risk for organizations is actually, like, tolerating really bad managers and bad behavior, and not doing something about it will just lead to a much worse workplace for everyone. This person just found out that the person they're training is already being paid more than them. And this is what they said to their boss. Dear Tim, we had third-year drinks last night at Bar One, and I met a few of the experienced hires. We were talking about where they'd worked before and about their interview process and why they wanted to be consultants, and salary came up. We were all quite shocked to be told that all of them are being paid at least 5 to 10% more than the existing consultants. Over the last 3 weeks, the existing consultants have been inducting and training the experienced hires on how the business works, how consultancy works, how to manage clients, and how to deliver training and workshops. The existing consultant cohort are all currently delivering very high utilization and value for the firm, and it will be a while yet before any of these experienced hires are remotely able to sell, manage, staff, and deliver a full project scope. This means the existing consultants are far more valuable to the business today, in the short term, in the short and medium term, than the experienced hires, and potentially in the future. We will be the same as they learn the way. You can probably quickly understand why we're all blown away by this news, especially when considering I'm personally being paid 11% less than someone I've been training all week, and someone that my manager told me, you may just have to carry them for a while. I mean, that is, like, devastating. If you're training someone new, they're rubbish. You're making them better and having to deliver their work, and you're being paid 11% less than them. I mean, that's awful. On behalf of all the consultants, I want to ask how this is being rectified and when this is being rectified. I have personally delivered near 100% utilization. I have upsold my account, created huge value for our customers and the firm, and have delivered an incredible amount of personal development work. Emily, it is strongly discouraged to discuss your salary, especially from what it sounds like on a night out with alcohol. It's, like, actually uncanny how similar the response is to any salary email from all management. It's always like, don't discuss it. And obviously it comes out on nights out because people do have a drink, but I just never think that that's the point. And I always think that companies who try and discourage it, probably because they're not paying fairly or equally. The reason it's discouraged, here we go. The reason it's discouraged is that there are a million different reasons why people are paid what they are paid, and it's not the concern of everyone else what anyone is paid. That is private and personal. Wow, that was quite a lot of words. The new consultants are hired because of their industry experience, which is why they're called experienced hires, and they come with a specific set of experience from industries that adds to the value and output of our company as a whole. Your pay review window is in April, and so you have 6 months to really demonstrate value. Hi Tim, a couple of key points. I actually really like this person, they're so detailed. Experienced hires. The experienced hires are actually hired predominantly from other consultancies, small and large, not necessarily the top firms, but also not necessarily from industry. This means that, broadly speaking, they do not bring industry experience. They bring other consulting experience, which is not particularly well aligned with how we do things here. Thus, the intense and repetitive training and continuous mistakes we've seen during that onboarding. A million reasons. I would have thought the pay was related, or at least broadly related, to billable hours, personal development output, management, and other less core factors like brand, support, and networking. Discouraging discussion. I do not actually drink alcohol. Not that I have a problem with those that do, but I don't as a choice. And also, I did not and would not have brought this up. I did not know it was a thing, if I were totally honest. Thus, my complete surprise that my junior is being paid 11% more than me. The experienced hires were openly discussing their pay. One of the existing consultants questioned it, and what transpired was a very serious and emphatic conversation about how it must be a mistake. My 2 cents for what it's worth. There were about 15 of us last night, which means by now everyone in the grade probably knows what happened. Meaning every single consultant coming to work today knows the experienced hires are paid considerably more than them. I actually love the company and feel the career path suits my skill set and temperament. However, I genuinely believe that if the existing consultants are not leveled in line with incoming staff, there are a lot of people quitting or quiet quitting, which might be even worse. Like, what an email, like, so good and so true as well. Hi, Emily, I appreciate the email and I can't say I agree with you as the experienced hires have been brought in with additional talent. I will speak to HR, but I'd like to know the names of the people who started this.
Tim. Hi, Tim. I do not know who started the conversation, Emily. I quite liked that at the end she sort of just stopped arguing because she put a really clear case forward as to it was ridiculous that the new hires with less experience are coming in being paid more but needing to be trained by the existing staff. And you see this quite literally everywhere. And I think that for the firm, so many of their team will leave and they'll have to hire so many more people from externally. But if they paid their current people what they should be paid in the first place, they wouldn't have so many people leaving. But I actually followed up with Emily because I thought the story was so fascinating. And Emily did actually tell me that a few weeks later, she did actually quit the firm and was offered a much better and higher paying job in another consultancy. This female employee has just found out that the colleagues that she manages are being paid more than her. And these are the messages she sends. Dear Tom, I hope this message finds you well. I'm writing to formally address a concerning issue that has recently come to my attention regarding significant salary discrepancies within our team. This is particularly concerning because I am effectively team lead right now for 3 experienced hires and at least 5 juniors on the infrastructure team. Despite my role as the team lead, where I'm marking everyone's work and providing direction to everyone, providing instructions day to day and effectively holding down the fort, as you say, since Jeremy left, I've discovered that I'm being paid £9,000 less than Mark and Bo. Additionally, our junior consultants, after their recent salary adjustment, are now only £5,000 less than my own salary. I won't deny this has left me feeling very angry. The disparity is particularly ironic given that the experienced hires have joined, and while they may have some experience of their previous companies, they have no idea how our company worked, and therefore they are less useful in the teams right now than the junior team members who have been here since the start. Tuesday night, everyone goes to a five-a-side football, and Thursday night, everyone goes to the pub. I'm literally the only one holding down the fort. I personally have delivered 30% increase in client spend this year, with my own sourced and delivered bids. No one else in our whole department has increased spend. In many ways, I wish I hadn't found this out, because if this is not solved, I'll be forced to look elsewhere. 24 hours ago, if you'd told me I'd be looking elsewhere, I would have told you I was shocked, as I saw my path being senior in this firm. He then fobs her off with the worst response. Olivia, thanks for reaching out. I understand your concerns. By the way, I do not think you should be talking to all the grades about their salaries, and no less at the pub, which is apparently where this conversation took place. I remember facing similar challenges early in my career. It's important to remember that salary structures are complex and take time to balance out. You'll be recognised for your work as time goes on. For now, let's get our heads down and deliver what we need today, and I'll make a note to discuss this in your next cycle in October. Dear Tom, thank you for your response. I do not appreciate the comment about the pub. It was a Thursday and everyone had left me in the office for 2 hours, and eventually I joined them, and everyone was already well on their way and openly discussing how other firms would pay them more. It then came out from a new consultant and a new junior, brackets, who despite being very irritating, I will not name, and said what their salaries were. I didn't volunteer my salary, I just left, barely touching my drink, and furious that people I was continuously scolding for poor dedication and poor work are being paid 20% more than me. I spoke to my husband about it at length. The financial impact of the next few years of this type of imbalance could potentially affect major personal financial decisions, including my ability to invest in a home versus my colleagues. I'm looking for a clear plan on how this be rectified rather than a simple discussion or a promise of future improvements. I do not think it is appropriate. I am team lead to have junior team members being paid £9,000 more than me and an analyst being paid £5,000 less than me. I feel my grade, which is effectively the longest standing consultants, have been forgotten when trying to recruit new graduates and when trying to hire experienced hires into the consultant band. If even a few of us left right now, who on earth is going to train all these new people and manage the clients? It's unacceptable. He fobs her off again in his reply. Olivia, glad to discuss this earlier and give you my view. I'm sympathetic to your situation. As I said, I went through it myself. But these are the norms in the industry.